Hi guys. This is still afternoon from my area. My name is Joy William, and I'm a new immigrant that just moved from my country, Nigeria, to the US. So I'm just gonna share a few experience I've gotten so far as a new immigrant. Moving from one country to the other is actually crazy. Yeah, because you practically have to start everything all over, you know. So the night that we arrived at the US, the states where we are, we had to lodge in a hotel because at that point we needed to sort accommodation. We needed to, get probably a mattress where we're going to be lying down. So we had to lodge in a hotel for the first night. So that first arrival night, we lodged in a hotel, and then the next morning we proceeded to get a SIM card, you know, internet, and the crazy part of it is that our phones did not match. Like there was a restriction, it was for a specific region. So what happened is we went to the store, to get a SIM card for the phone that we actually came with from Nigeria to the US. And on getting to the store, we realized that our phone were restricted to a particular region, which is Nigeria. So we just got the phone. That was the craziest part of it. We just got the phone, and it cost us a lot to be able to get that phone while moving over here. And to our surprise, on arriving, we couldn't use the phone. That was crazy. That was the craziest thing ever. Imagine just getting a new Samsung phone and then arriving here and you realize that you actually cannot use that phone. Like you can't use that phone. So it means that you have to get a new phone. And mind you, it was just our first day in the US, so we couldn't get a social security number in time. And for you to be able to get a new phone, let's say a postpaid package, you need a social security number. And that was the craziest thing. So we couldn't get a phone because we do not have a social security number as at that time. So you have to get a social security number practically for every single thing you want to do. Like for every single thing you want to do in the US, you will be asked of your social security number. Hi, welcome to my live session. So I'm just sharing my experience so far, my experience moving or relocating from Nigeria to the US. It's been crazy, but it's worked every single step of it. So we couldn't get a SIM card. We went to Verizon and then we couldn't get a SIM card for our phone. And we were told that the phone is made for a specific region. And it was actually crazy because we just got this phone. I mean, this phone is like a brand new phone and we got it before relocating. So it was actually crazy. It was crazy that you got a new phone expecting that, oh, once I get here I'm not actually going to start buying phone anymore, and then you arrived here and you realize that you can't get a sim that fits in that phone. That was my first shock arriving in the US. It was crazy. So at that point I had to, we had to look for a prepaid package because we needed a social security number to be able to get a postpaid package, which could give you a lot of opportunities to choose from which phone you really want to go with. So we're so limited at that point that the only option we have was just only one phone. Only one phone is crazy, right? So it was only one phone that we have the opportunity to pick, and they call it the prepaid package. And surprisingly, this phone was as cheap as what, I don't know. I got the phone for just $1. Can you beat that? Yeah, so I got the phone. I think the name is Moto G or something. I don't know if anyone have heard of this brand before, but that was the only option that we have as at that time, Moto G. And then even the seller, even the agent was confused because it was actually very cheap. He saw the price at $1, and he decided to, call some other agents to confirm the price because it was crazy. A phone for $1, that was crazy. So he called other agents and he confirmed that yes, it actually goes for $1. And that was how we were able to get a phone for $1. We're actually two persons, so he got one, and we're so fortunate that it was just two of those brand, the prepaid brand, that was still available. So he got one, and I got one. So that means that my spouse was not opportune to, get a phone immediately we arrived at the US. Yeah. So we got the phone for $1, and we actually paid $35 for activation, and then we also paid for, Verizon package. I think it was about 70 something. So everything was about like 100 and something dollar. And that was how we were able to sort that. So why I'm making this video is anyone that is moving, relocating from a country to a country anytime soon is actually crazy. There are a lot of shocks that you're going to have. There are lots of shocks that you're going to have when you arrive at that country. Ask a lot of questions. Very important. Ask a lot of questions. Ask question as much. Make your research as much. Do not go about wasting money like we did, getting a brand new Samsung phone and arriving here and we couldn't use it. That was crazy. Yeah, another culture shock I had arriving the US was my son enjoyed eating beans. He loved eating beans actually. So we were trying to manage our weight and we couldn't calm down here with beans. So we have been searching for almost 2 weeks of arriving here. He practically saying beans like every day. So we've been searching on where we could get beans, not knowing that actually beans is there, but with a different name. I tell you, I kid you not, with a total different name. I was very shocked. So we first saw it as black eyed pea, and then there was another name. So we're considering, could this be beans? Could it be some other thing? Although it actually looked like beans from what we saw, but then the name wasn't something we're familiar with. So that was our second culture shock arriving from Nigeria to the US. Yeah, so we're barely 2 weeks. Is it up to 2 weeks? Now, up to 2 weeks, I'm going to be updating us on more and more experience that we have with regards to our relocation from Nigeria to the US. You stay tuned. See you next time. Bye.